Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. This is Sandeep Anand, and you're listening to Financial Freedom with Sandeep Anand. And this is my February edition of 2021. So, we are already past 1 month in 2021, and there has been a significant development around vaccines. So, great and positive news around the world. And with that note of positivity, let's get into my podcast. So as usual, there will be four sessions, starting with stock or company of the month, which is this time around, it's a surprise. The company of the month is an evergreen favorite of all investors. We just announced a bumper results, and that's Netflix. Yes, Netflix crossed 200 million subscribers worldwide last year, and it's growing up by 31% from 2019. Now, its CEO, Reed Hastings, celebrated it by ordering home a steak from Dennis. Seems this is how he celebrated 100 million, as well as it seems like a superstition for him. So he's keeping up with a superstition. Nothing wrong as long as they're growing and doubling their user base. And Netflix reported Q4 revenue of $6.64 billion, up around 21.5%, beating all analyst expectations. Now, among its most popular originals during Q4 was the season 4 of The Crown. Apparently, 62 million households watched The Queen's Gambit in its first 4 weeks. Trust me, that's one great series to watch, making its most watched original limited series to date. Netflix has around 60% US household penetrations today, and it doesn't stop there. The international growth is still a long way ahead, making bulls prospects for the company. And finally, the icing on the cake is that the company expects to be free cash flow positive this year, which is a great news and cheerful for the markets and investors. So Netflix is not done yet, friends. Netflix has still a long way to go. Even it could even touch half a billion total users worldwide in the next few years. Next section is a money tip. This time around, the biggest I wanted to bring up biggest myth that people carry around and correct that is that people think we need a big capital to start investing and create wealth. Every big investor we need to understand out there started small, and the portfolio once was small. The key is to consistently invest and let the compounding do its trick. Do you know if you had put $1,000 every month in S&P 500 index since 1990, it would be worth around $2 million now after 30 years, which is a huge amount even for today's terms. That accounts for almost 98% of the top US population is below that line of $2 million. So it all starts small, but key is consistently putting an index, believing the market. And now the third session is book of the month. It's based on a popular class taught by a Harvard Business School professor. If you're not a numbers person, then balance sheets and financial jargons can be really intimidating, and it's easy to ignore. So, friends, one thing that I've always noted is, and I've heard and learned from many successful entrepreneurs and CEOs, are if you have to be a CXO level person or an entrepreneur or a successful investor, three things are mandatory. One is communication and oration skills. Second is financial knowledge of the balance sheet and companies. And third one is a sales experience. Now, for financial experience or financial knowledge, I am recommending a book this time in the podcast, which is called How Finance Works, written by Mihir Desai, a professor at Harvard Business School and author of the widely praised book, The Wisdom of Finance, that guides you into the complex but endlessly fascinating world of finance and demystifies it in the process. Through entertaining stories, interactive exercises, full color visuals, and a conversational style, this book called How Finance Works makes it easy for readers to learn the financial concepts. So, if you are looking for learning the basics of finance, if you're not a numbers person, go pick that book. It helps a lot. It helped me a lot. It's called How Finance Works. The fourth section is personal mastery tip. When you show up consistently in small ways, you create more chances that you are in the right place when opportunities appear. Whether you keep looking for the right job or finding the clients or finding customers for your new business, showing up will drive you to find the opportunity you want. I'll be doing a separate video on the importance of showing up, And until then, let that comes to the end of the podcast. Thanks for staying with me. You guys have a great February.